Hello, ladies and gents. This is Mike Headley on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. On this podcast, we interview real estate professionals on their journey with their real estate career. They provide great value, insight, and knowledge. Continue to tune in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? This is Mike Headley. We are back on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. Oh, man, it is 2021, and this is our very first episode. First, I want to thank each and every one of you all who started the journey and kind of went through the journey with on this rocky 2020. Thank you for that. And we're going to kick this show off with a gentleman who multi-talented. I mean, he has many talents in terms of highlight. He's a businessman, number one. He is a owner of several barbershops. He's a barber. But I have to salute him with the ultimate achievement because he's a broker in the Headley Group Realty Company. So without no further ado, let's give a great welcome to Mr. Dwayne Shaw, broker with the Headley Group Realty. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, man, listen, brother. Let me tell you something. He's my, I have a barber I go to because I'm pretty loyal. When I get in the jam, I reach out to him. I said, man, brother, I need a haircut. And he always pulls through for me, right? So every time I wanted to get my haircut, we talked about real estate. And he said, I'm going to get my license. And let me tell you something. He went up and beyond, and he pulled through, and he got his license. So I just want to say that and salute you on that, brother, for real. I got to give you a round of applause on that.
Appreciate that, bro.
Okay, Mr. Dwayne. Dwayne or Mr. Shaw? What you rather call me? I'm a first name basis.
Mr. Shaw, man. I'm a Shaw.
Oh, Mr. Shaw.
Yeah.
Right. So, Mr. Shaw, you've been in the business, I would say, a year now. Is that correct?
Yes, since November last year. Yeah.
Since November. All right. So, what I like for you to do, because we're highlighting this show of people who want to get into the real estate industry, or just thinking about, man, once I'm in, what does that first year look like? And you can speak to all that, right?
Yeah.
So let us know what made you get into the real estate industry and talk to us about that. Once you passed your test, talk to us, walk us through there.
Okay. So what made me want to get into the business was just knowing that most people that accumulate wealth, inside of their portfolio is real estate. So, me being, in my 40s, I said that, I was an investor in the past, and I was a loan officer back in 2004 to 2008, got out in 2008. And so now, I wanted to reemerge back into the business, get as much of the information that I possibly could, and get back into investing. And I felt like becoming a broker was going to help me to get some of that inside information, get me started back into the real estate business.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I left that out. It was in the mortgage field.
Oh, no worry.
By you being in the mortgage field, how much leverage did that help you in terms of with some of the terminologies when you were taking your class ready to prepare for the test?
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what gave me the confidence, thinking that I can go in there and I'll be able to understand and follow everything. But to be honest with you, it was very little.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, very little. I thought that, knowing, how loans were put together and how you have to qualify and all that stuff like that was going to help me as far as being a real estate broker. And there was a chapter that went over some of that stuff, but there's 24, 25 chapters, you know what I mean? And this is only one chapter inside of it, and that's not even what the real estate broker's responsibility, engulfs. You see what I'm saying? So it was very little, man, and it was frustrating. I actually took the class light, thinking that I was going to have an advantage over other people, which wasn't the case at all.
Wow. So let me dive in that a little bit. You said took the class light because I had experience. So okay, I got this. If you mind sharing, how many times did it take you to complete that class?
So you have to take the class, and it's about 75 hours. It's supposed to take you 6 weeks if you do the part-time thing, which that's what I did. and you have to pass the exam to get out of the class. And you get two chances to do that. So I flunked the class, failed to get out of the class two times, and passed on my third time. Yeah. So actually, so that took me, what was that? That's 18 weeks. You know, do the math on the what is 225 hours, versus 75 hours, you see. So I just was determined. I saw somebody quit on the first day. First lunch break.
Wow. Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, first lunch break, they was there, went for our first break, the first 15-minute break, they didn't come back.
I want to ask you, the second time you took the test, was it discouraging? Did you think, this may not be for me, or I'm gonna keep going?
Well, the second time? So
yes, the second time.
The second time I flunked, or the
second time you flunked? I'm sorry. Second time you flunked.
The second time I flunked, I felt like I went too far to turn around. Meaning, like I got a lot of the information, and I started to understand that there are pockets of information that you need to categorize. You need to know if you're dealing in residential, commercial, raw land. You need to know if you're working for the buyer or the seller. You need to know, is it conventional, FHA? It's a lot of different things you need to slice up. You know what I'm saying? You can get all the information, but then when it's time to apply it, where does this information go? What side are you on? You know what I'm saying? What type of deal is this? You see what I'm saying? So on the third time going into it, I knew then, take the information, get it all, start blocking it off. You know what I'm saying? So I start to understand, and always keep in mind, I'm representing somebody. You know what I'm saying? So what side am I on, especially when it comes to the questions?
So fast forward 6 months into the business. You searched around. Matter of fact, let me back it up a little bit. Your license, happy, you're excited, I passed my test.
Yeah.
What suggestions would you give to a up-and-coming agent just passed? And now they're getting a ton of phone calls, right? Because I do believe, and this is my personal opinion, I think some agents, once they pass their tests and they see this influx of companies reaching out to them, I think they kind of, they feel themselves a little.
Yeah.
So walk us through that moment where you said, let me do some searching, and I end up going with company X. What would you recommend to anybody coming out of school?
So it really just, to me, it depends on what your career looks like, to you. You know what I'm saying? What does that look like to you? What does having your own business look like to you? Because that's what it is. It's your business. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think they forget that. And if that's a lot for you to grasp, you may want to go with a big name brand, because they do a lot of teams and stuff like that, where there's a lot of holding your hand a lot. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least that's what's presented to you. You see
presentation, gotcha.
Yeah, the presentation is gonna be top notch, to get you in the door. And then they have systems in place that will allow you to do a portion of the work. And the team will help you along. So that's for someone, okay, I want to do this full time, because that type of commitment is what you're gonna have to sacrifice dealing with that type of company. The big companies, they want you to be there 8-10 hours a day, attend these trainings and things like that, which that's perfect for some people. For me, being a little bit older and having a couple of things going on in my life, I needed a structure that was a little bit more custom made, meaning like, okay, a very understanding broker firm that could help to work around what I was already doing. And, that could give me the training that I needed, answer my questions as I had them, as I needed it. And, but also give me that freedom to kind of run my business at my pace, which was very important, because I feel like the market was hot, and I felt like I could have easily jumped in there and kind of put myself out there, with my profile, and got swamped, with a bunch very early. Messed up some deals, potentially got my firm in some issues, or put a lot on their plate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where more so, what I chose to do was to go at my own pace and kind of like focus, learn every part of this deal. Hit the bumps without having to multitask bumps. You know what I'm saying? Let me deal with this bump.
Mm-hmm.
And so that gave my firm the opportunity to help me step by step. This is our case study right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to me, like I said, it's all about what your career. If you want that fast pace, situation, you want to work amongst teams, if you want to divide your commission, if you want to, it's a lot of different moving parts to working for a big firm versus finding a smaller firm that might actually be better for you as far as your personal development.
Got you. So, like you said, definitely more of a personal decision in terms of, like you said, everything that you have going on. Very eloquently put. Would you say value has the most crucial role in it? Did value play the important role in your decision as well?
Yeah, definitely. But value is measured by the individual.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So my time is very valuable to me.
Mm-hmm.
I never want to get involved with something that I can't follow through with my end of the bargain. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like the firm I'm with now, the Headley Group Realty, they understand. You're gonna have certain type of brokers that are gonna come to this firm, meaning like you're gonna be a self-starter. You're gonna be motivated. And you already understand that this is your business. You know what I mean? So, the firm wasn't offended by that at all. They embraced that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're looking for, but we're always here to assist you with anything you need. Always made that perfectly clear. You know what I'm saying? So,
correct.
So that was a big thing for me. So there was value there. It was my type of value, the value that I needed, not somebody all on my back. Where you at? What you doing? What you got? Even though, you know what I'm saying, you would ask me if there's anything and follow up with me, which was always cool. But I'm sure I've talked to other agents and they're on that grind constantly, and working late, you know what I mean? Having this training here and that, and all that's good. But understand, I went through the class 3 times. I took the actual exam 6 times. You know what I'm saying? So I was tired. I didn't want to see another test. None of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was burnt out. And understand, I got that information for real.
So let me go back to the other question. What 6 months has passed, and did you have a transaction by then? Did you close some of the first 6 months?
Yeah, I closed some in my first 6.
Okay, first 6 months. Gotcha.
Right at 6.
We're right at 6. Okay. Now that first transaction, not without being too specific, was there some rocky moments with that one, or was that a pretty much clean cut deal?
Yes, it was some rocky ones in the first one, and I explained. There was someone I knew, which was cool, and we were looking at some houses. They knew what they wanted. We went in to bid on this property, and we were outbidded. Okay, boom. The enthusiasm of the client dropped because that's the one they wanted. You see what I'm saying? And they thought they had it, but not understanding that this is a very competitive, hot market and anything can happen. And then on top of that, there was a little bit of arrogance in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the purchase price might have been $289. It was like, we're going to go in at $280. You know what I'm saying? You already know.
Correct, I do.
And this is my first, so I didn't quite know. You know what I mean? So we got outbidded, and they lost that, and then it was time to search. But now everything we were searching was less than that. You know what I mean? And their enthusiasm was down, and we had to go through the bidding war. I told them, explaining them, let's not play. If it's something that you really want, we got to show and prove. And they were able to do that, but the other people, you know what I'm saying, was in it to win it too.
Got you.
So now we was in the dual thing, and you know, he actually told me, he was like, look, man, I'm about to say, forget this. You know what I mean? Forget this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Ready to bail. Like, you know.
Exactly.
Took it super personal.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, that was tough for me because as an agent, I got to save that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Save it, help build their confidence back up, let them know, listen, you know, I'm not going to quit. You know what I mean? You don't have to quit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is not the first, not the last house. So,
correct.
You know, let's fight.
Okay. So if I had to ask you, how many properties did you look at to make that enthusiasm to a decline?
Well, okay, so with this one, we only looked at 3. This was a very impatient, you know what I'm saying? Like
wow,
this,
3.
Yeah, I knew this person very well, you know, and I knew, but they was they were very impatient. So when we got to this one, they shot the big gun, you know what I'm saying? Because they were tired. We don't get this one, boom, but we end up getting it. But my next deal is where you want to ask about how many houses did I show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
First time buyer. We out here again. You know, this is like my second deal, and I'm very excited for them. You know, because you know I'm always excited for the client to obtain this type of goal and help them in this because it's the big investment you're gonna make in your life. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm excited. But you know, long story short, I end up showing 28 houses.
Hold on. We gotta put a break on that. Mm-hmm. How many houses have you sold this one particular client?
28.
28 houses.
So 28 houses.
I got to give you a round of applause, brother, for resilience.
Yeah. Shoot, give me a round of applause, man.
28 homes. Ooh. Yeah. See, and let me interject and say, when you show that many homes, it's very easy to say, the 12th home, I like the dining room. I like the dining room, the way I can put my furniture. The 18th home, I like the backyard. They had a personal shed. I know, have you ran into things where they kind of confused properties? Was that little confusing on them, or they pretty much had everything mapped out?
You know, like I said, saw that perfect house, lost that, you know what I mean? And just moving on. And after a while, you know, kind of coaching them as a broker, coaching them, letting them know, hey, you know, sometimes we're going to get outbid it, but we're going to continue to keep pushing. And we kept pushing. So you got to about the 7th or 8th home is where you start to see the client settling. You know, a good broker going to find out what your goals are, what your must-haves, what your things you don't have to have. You know what I mean? And by me knowing that, I started to see them start to sacrifice a lot, too much. And saying, you know, put an offer in on that one, Sean. And I'm looking at them like, that ain't even your criteria. That wasn't even but you know that fatigue.
Correct.
I'm tired.
Setting in.
You know what I'm saying? But they were fatigued, I can tell. You know, so they were sending me things, man, to look at this, you know, and I was texting them back, you know, we could look at it, you know what I mean? But I'm sure of something else. Let's wait a week. Let's look, you know, and, you know, just being honest, like I knew that's not what they even wanted, you know.
Correct.
I mean? I didn't even want to entertain some of it because I could just feel it. I was in the same boat as them. As the broker, I'm with you on this ride. So I was tired, you tired, and then they showed me, hey, let's go for this right here. I'm looking at it like, come on, man. You know, so this don't have the garage, this don't have the rooms, this don't have the space. It just got that price.
Okay.
Wow. You can do better, you know?
So you built them up. Now they end up getting something where they end up being happy exactly with the house that they have now.
Really, really happy.
That's
very, very happy, man. And the crazy thing about this deal is that we put in those 28 offers. I mean, we looked at 28, we put in 12 offers out of us, 12 contracts written up. The day that we finally got one accepted, you know, it wasn't a tired thing. It was one of these things where, you know, don't get tired, we're gonna find one. We found one, it had something nice. It had a nice back porch, had some space in the living room, things need to be redone, but you know what? Hey, let's go for this one. We went for it, wrote it up, got excited about it. They accepted the offer. Okay, they thinking everything is good. Later on that evening, about 11 o'clock at night, the house we really wanted, they accepted that offer.
Wow. So 2 offers accepted.
The same day.
Ooh, so how'd you work through that? What'd you do?
Well, you know, I spoke to the listing agent And this is a call that they didn't want to hear, but I let them know that that my client, had another property that they really really liked, and the offer was accepted late into the evening after they had accepted our offer. And my client.
Let me interject. Were any of the properties executed on paper? Executed contract?
It was accepted.
Acceptance, but in other words, but was there signatures from the buyer and the seller?
From the buyer and the seller.
For both contracts?
Yeah, yes. Yes. We were ready to go on one. The other one, it was ready to go too, but like I said, they had to sign. The seller had to sign. They ended up signing, they came over, boom. Like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? And this was already go. And she asked me some questions. Are you sure that your clients want this house? At that time, I'm like, yeah, they want it. You know what I'm saying? They're very excited about it. But she ended up hitting me like, I thought you said that, your clients were motivated. I'm like, you have no idea how motivated they are. It just so happens that this house right here got accepted that same night. Oh my goodness. I would have did the same thing.
So walk us through it. You had to do a cancellation. You
had to do cancellation, had to, talk to the broker and the listing agent and explain to them what happened. We was in a situation where we could have lost our due diligence. You know what I mean? But it was, the way that I spoke to her, like I said, she was upset having to take it back off the market and it's going to look like something's wrong with the property. But I assured her, that, the house was on the market at one point in time. We saw that. It went back on the market. We jumped on it. We put in an offer on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to go.
Correct.
Don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go. Correct. So, just talking to her and ease it over with her and calmed her down, and we was able to get through with it, swapped everything out, no problems,
Wow. Now, based off what I'm hearing, the skip, and I don't know if this came from training or I don't know if this came from just the sheer ability of Mr. Shaw, whereas though the buyers could have lost their due diligence money and the sellers had every right to keep that because that contract was executed.
Yes.
But your skill set had a conversation, sure there was a problem, you saw there was a problem, you solved it, and I bet you look like Superman in front of your clients. They probably loved you after that.
Did.
Awesome. Yeah. So I just had to comment on that because that showed, because any other agent probably wouldn't have thought, how exactly do I work this? I got 2 properties under contract and the seller's gonna tell me get that money, but you went above and beyond to make sure that your buyers get their earnest money or get their due diligence.
Buyers, man. You know what I'm saying? I work for buyers. I want to be fair, but my thing is, it wasn't hours. It wasn't 24 hours. That was my argument. You know what I'm saying? It's not even 24 hours. It's not like I'm telling you 2 days later, 3 days later.
Correct.
I'm telling you the same day. You know what I'm saying? That this happened. It's very rare. But for us, it was just something very new for us to, when we couldn't get any offers. Now all of a sudden we get 2 in the same day. So I just explained it to her, and like I said, you can tell that she wasn't happy about it. And if I was someone different, I could have got pulled into that, you know what I'm saying, the aura that she had, the vibe she had. I could have got pulled into that. I kind of knew, don't even go there, because she had the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that we did have an executed contract, and they could have took the due diligence money, but at the same time, I'm trying to let her know, we are working to make sure that everybody involved have a smooth, transaction. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't nothing ill will from our end towards her. And so there's no need to reciprocate that this way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just assured that this house is going to get sold.
See, there's another one I got to give you kudos for. 2 quick points. One, you took the high road. You could have came down to that level. Because people are upset, they don't hear anything, no one has to say. They just want to make sure they get exactly what they're trying to go after because they're upset. You took the high road, got exactly what you wanted, probably calmed her down, and did what's right for your client. Instead of fighting fire with fire, take the high road. But I commend you on that.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you for watching our show. We're going to interrupt you real quickly. We are in the business of referrals. If you know someone looking to buy or sell, residential or commercial, here in the North Carolina area, refer us. We really appreciate that.
So let's segue. Now you got your first deal. You moving along. You run into a major roadblock, I take it, in terms of with the contract, right? Without getting too specific, and I'm glad you shared that story, because again, I think people learn best when they hear stories. You run into another situation, and I don't know if you recall during the conversation with this ordeal, because I think you spoke to me about it, and I said I hate it, but at the same time, I'm happy you're going through it. Yeah. Because I really do think that them experiences you can't get from no training or no kind of or no manuals or no forms, right? You got to actually go through the fire.
That's true.
Give the audience bullets and points of what happened with that situation.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about
the okay? I think you and I know you had so many deals going on. You had it. It was a deal. I think you reached out to us on, and hey, Mike, here's a situation where something concerning was with earnest money. You had where does the earnest money go, or am I my jogging it? Because I know you had a few.
Yeah. But I got a few things.
Well, if you want to don't even worry about scratch that one. You give us one that.
But I think I can speak on this.
Okay.
So we had the one property where everything was going good. It was remodeled, and everything.
Okay.
And it rained super heavy. My clients, they're from another city, another state. They're from another state. So they just called. It was like, hey, could you go over to the property and check that basement? It's been raining a couple of days. So I go over there and check the basement, for sure. Flooded. You know what I'm saying? Flooded. We're under contract, everything. You know what I'm saying? We're in the due diligence period though, but close to the very end. I end up having to take pictures of it and everything. I talked to my inspector to see, what can be done, but I also relayed the message back to the buyers, and that was a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? So they lost that earnest money, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, you know what I'm saying, the due diligence money. Lost the due diligence money. So that was a really weird one to me, because I hadn't experienced that either, just how we could have really went through with this purchase, because they loved the house. And if it hadn't rained, we would never saw that at all.
What was the home inspection done already?
Yes, the termite and stuff was still in the house. That was the last thing that they were getting done. So when I went back to check on that, the termite, not the termite thing, but the radon test was still inside of the property. Yeah, so we were done with the overall inspection.
And that's interesting. You had a home inspection, because I think us in the real estate world, I don't want to speak for everyone when they say home inspectors sometimes can be deal killers. He didn't have nothing on that report to say possible infiltration of water.
We talked about, it could be a little damp, you know what I'm saying? And there was some moisture. But you're never gonna know how much moisture until the moisture comes.
Exactly.
So we just was, it worked out for us to be able to see. What type of moisture you talking about?
Correct.
Tell us nothing. The seller didn't have to present their, terminology of what dampness is. We saw it. So that got us out of that. So I was really happy. And now they have a beautiful home.
Gotcha.
Beautiful home. It worked out perfect.
Hope. Save the headache as well.
What? Yeah.
Because I could just imagine they close on the property, move in, everything's closed. It's the headache behind that. Because when people are upset, they're mad at everybody.
Yeah, and it was crazy. I had spoke to another mentor about a situation, and they told me that they sold the house, over $500,000 home, right? And a week later, their basement flooded out, but the deal was done. There was nothing. They had to go live in a hotel, all of that. So it was crazy, because that experience was in my head. I was like, yo, this really could have went bad. So I was really thankful we avoided that.
Okay, so let's segue now. Let's segue to some fun stuff, highlights, right? And I mean, I like to kind of get that rocky moments, which is learning experiences, out the way. So we're gonna turn some fun stuff, right? In terms of marketing, right? Marketing or picking up a new client, what are you doing? And what kind of recommendations would you give someone if they're like, man, what should I do with marketing? How can I get my word out? Let people know what I'm doing. What would you say to them? If you could, if you want to.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do. You know, there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of tools available to you. But I think the one of the best things that you actually can do is meet people. You know, go somewhere and meet face to face if you can. In this climate is difficult. So there are other alternatives, new ways to actually do, you know, to meet people. What's the new face to face, such as a Zoom call, you know, or something like that. Even like some of these new platforms like Clubhouse, you know, I love that. You know, I love even getting on Facebook and Instagram and putting yourself out there. I refrained from doing that just from the fear of, I knew I had a couple of deals in the pipeline and I didn't want these other sporadic situations come along. You know, people that didn't have pre-approval letters. They hadn't even been to the bank. They don't know what their credit scores are, but they want to talk to me about purchasing a home. I wasn't ready for that. I was ready to dive into and focus on the deal, you know, one deal at a time. You know, if it overlaps, it's because I've done everything with this deal and we're almost going to close the next week. And now I'm starting this one right here and I'm good. I can do that. But, you know, both of them starting, both of them in the due diligence period, you know, I wasn't ready for that.
Right. Well, so, you know, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I commend you on not invite more than you can actually consume, you know, and you said, well, let me take this in dosages, right? And you get so many pages getting into this, I can do this, I can do that. And I think if your foundation is not ready in terms of your systems in place, you know, you have, whether you have an assistant or you don't have an assistant, you have to have that foundation together because it's very easy to get busy. And when you get busy, now you're all over the place.
Yeah, you mess something up.
Correct. And
what I did not want to do.
Yes, that's right. Something will lack, and then you'll look unprofessional to your client, which is, we don't want that. So I commend you on that. The marketing piece, you said, okay, well, you know, you try different other platforms, and which I highly recommend that people take advantage of social media because it is free for now. Clubhouse, which I think is awesome. Please follow me there as well. If you had to do it all over again a year ago, if there's anything you would have changed just a little bit in your business or just tweaked it, what would that look like? You know, he said, man, you hit me that question for.
Well, you know, I would have took the class much more serious. I wouldn't have went in there with the I know this part, so that's going to help me attitude. I'd have went in there like a baby. You know, go in like a baby, know and tell yourself, I don't know anything. Let me go in here and absorb as much as possible, ask questions, get mentors, YouTube, you know, like really,
YouTube University.
The
best university.
Because what I actually did the last time, I actually took the class online at the same time as I took it in my last class. So I was dealing with this dude, Travis Everett, and I listened to him in the morning, and then I would go to class, my 4 hours, and then I would play him again at night. I'm talking about while I'm in the bed. I would play him, put my sleeper on, and fall asleep listening to this stuff. So,
and that was helpful for you.
Very, very helpful because, you know, you gotta live, eat, breathe this. You know what I'm saying? Because they dumping information on you, words and terminologies you hadn't heard about before. And if you did hear about it, it's not the same thing in real estate. Words outside of real estate mean one thing. Inside of real estate is a whole nother vocabulary, another language.
Correct. Well, you know, some brother, I swear, man, but I got so many great gems there. You can see my head now because I was actually writing so many good things that you was even enlightening me on. In terms of, I like the fact that the way you handled the situation. You saw it was rocky, you dealt with it, and I could just say, just from the broker perspective, you which we're always open for phone call. You run into a jam, but sometimes we would get concerned, like, well, Dwayne is all right, but you be handling it, right?
Yeah.
You got it, right? So the confidence was built up, like he got it, he's fine, because if he's in the jam, he'll call and he'll say, listen, I'm quite sure I don't know, right? So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
You're approaching 2021. You wrap things up. I know you said you got some kind of good goals going for 2021. Approaching 2021. How many deals, if you care to share, would you like to close for this beautiful upcoming year, for this beautiful year we're in now?
So last year I was asked the same question, and I was very hesitant in giving a number. I like to underpromise and overdeliver. That's my game. However, and also I'm glad that I didn't do that last year because COVID hit.
Okay.
And you just could not see. You couldn't foresee. So even with this year, I anticipate doing the very best I can, like I did last year.
I like that.
I anticipate being a little more aggressive with social media. What I put on hold last year, as far as me advertising myself and wanting to get swamped, now with X amount of deals under my belt, going through these bumpy roads and things like that, I'm faster at putting deals together. I'm more efficient. I know my systems. So now my goal is to actually advertise myself a lot more. I'll put myself in position to take on more clients. I'm actually going to do a lot more educating on the process of purchasing homes, which is going to draw clients to us as well. So, and I want to get into the investing as well, which that could be this year, or maybe that will be what really, what next year looks like.
Correct.
At this time. Okay. When
Correct.
you say, Shaw, what you getting ready to do? Oh, it's an investment year.
I love that.
So this year, like I said, we want to watch the market. We're going to see what's going on. It's going to let us know whether or not we're going to go in heavy with investing and helping and educating others, or we're just going to focus on educating other people and helping them obtain their goals of owning a home.
I love that, brother. Now, we're going to hold you to that now. You know that.
Man, you ain't. Hey, I'm holding myself to it.
I know, and that's a great thing right there. So, brother, we are, we've been talking almost 40 minutes now. We getting close. So, but I like to do. I want to narrow things down because I know you're busy. Probably got to write a contract because he's making.
I do actually.
And let me put the audience out there. This brother won Rookie of the Year. We forgot about that, and he got a nice plaque, and he won some, got some dollars and some good things. So definitely congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What give us 2 golden nuggets. We ask every guest that. Give us 2 golden nuggets, whether it's a book, a sermon, a scripture, or anything that you can pass on to a future broker want to get into the business, or a broker who's already seasoned. Fire away.
Well, shoot. For someone that wants to get into the real estate business, the first thing I would say first, like I think we talked about this earlier, determine what your career is going to look like to you. That's very important. You know what I mean? Somebody else can sell you what their career looks like, and then you can kind of base everything off of that for you. And it may not happen that way. You can get discouraged. You can move a little too fast. You can, you know what I mean? So you can create a lot of bad habits if you get with the wrong person. So my thing is get the information, practice, master, and monetize. That's what I'm doing now. With going through those classes, taking that test, I had to learn it. I got with the Headley Group Realty, started to practice. And as I practice, I begin to master. Right now we're in that mastering phase of, which the game changes all the time. But I got my learning hat on. So I'm mastering now, and we monetized in 2020. And now we're just going to repeat. We're going to repeat. We're going to continue to get information. We're going to continue to practice and master this thing. And we're going to keep getting money. That's what it's all about for us as far as helping people. And if you help people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
That's it. Oh, man, brother, listen, let me tell you something. You knocked that last part right out the ballpark.
Yeah.
Listen, Dwayne Shaw, always kudos to you, taking a hat up to you. And again, anything we can and we continue to do to support and grow your business, hey, we're here for that. As always.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you all for tuning on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. And don't forget to like and subscribe.